An extraordinary event where you felt that you had a special connection with Allah, a special protection from Him?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Not through anything that I chose. By Allah's guidance, alhamdulillah, I've been lucky enough to work with many Muslim charities. I see the miracle of Sadaqah all the time. I was at a charity dinner, and this dinner was raising money for a particular cause, and I'll tell you what that cause was. I had an intention to give a certain amount of money, and I came prepared to give a certain amount of money. I knew it was a charity dinner, and I said to my wife, I said, This is quite a unique thing. So imagine we save one person. Actually, this thing, and we just save one. But I said, let's give more. She said, okay, let's give more. And we gave 6 times the amount that we intended to give. A few days later, I was leaving on a trip. We were doing some filming and we were doing some charity work in New Zealand and Australia. On the way back in New Zealand, we had 1 day spare where we went to some tourism, and we went to these amazing caves, these Maori caves. We're driving back from that, and there was an accident, and I came out of the car. The door flew open and I came out of the car 100 kilometers per hour. And the first thing that hit the ground was my head. My brains are coming out of my head. The whole back of my head is all open. I mean, it's unbelievable. Because I just bounced along the road. And I remember when the ambulance came, I was just sitting there. I didn't lose consciousness. I was sitting there on the side of the road. There was a blanket over my head, and I remember she lifted up my back first of all, and all the skin on my back was gone. And she was kind of, like nurses, she was trying to be lighthearted. She said, oh, that's gonna sting. And then she lifted the blanket off my head, and she saw my head injuries, and immediately her voice changed. And she said, I want an emergency airlift. We want helicopter airlift now. Extensive head injuries, side of the road. I need an emergency airlift now. And they sent a helicopter, and I had to be taken by helicopter. From the moment of the accident, Allah knows I was fine. My heart was fine. Every doctor I met said the same thing to me. They said, you had a miraculous escape. When I was in the hospital, they were searching me for brain damage. They said, no sign of any brain damage at all. And in my heart, I knew 100% what that miracle was. Because that fundraising dinner, which was just a few days before I left for New Zealand and Australia, was for the people of Gaza. It was 2014, and you remember the attacks on Gaza in 2014? And this was for a brain pressure sensor to protect the people of Gaza from having brain damage when they had brain injuries. That's what that donation was for. It was to protect them. And I said to my wife, imagine we saved one person from brain damage. I knew 100% that my donation had saved me. Alhamdulillah.
وذكر فإن الذكرى تنفع المؤمنين